Hey guys, this is MikeGoG with another King Arthur Legends Rise video. I actually recorded an entire video yesterday, and when I went to save it, I messed it up and it didn't save. But I basically went through everything that I do on a daily basis to kind of get a feel for how long it takes me in game to get all of your daily chores done, starting with the sealed temple and just working your way through. I am going to start working towards speeding up all of my teams and favor dungeons and trying to think here, dimensional rift not so much, but equipment dungeons and power-up dungeons. Just to try to see if I can expedite it a little bit. But instead of going through that entire video again, I decided I'm just going to kind of give you the cliff notes. And the cliff notes are that if you're going in to just do your daily activities as fast as you possibly can with a pretty in-game account, I can do it in about 25 minutes. Which is not too bad. That is actually running a full Hall of Conquerors team, which I think if you go in and then forfeit, it'll actually speed it up a little bit. And then only running one battle in the arena just in order to get your daily missions accomplished. So, I mean, as far as a casual game that if you wanted to play, I mean, obviously you don't have to get in every single day and do your chores, but it does make you feel like you're making progress on the account. And I think 25 minutes in game is not unreasonable. I do feel like there's some opportunities there for some quality of life adjustments, specifically in things that we've done hundreds of times, like the sealed temple. Probably could sim this once you complete stage 10 100 times, or I don't know, 1,000 times or something like that. There's not really a need to go back in here and actually fight this boss and wait the 2 or 3 minutes it takes every day to do that. I'd say favor dungeons probably in the same space where you should be able, once you beat the 10th level, maybe under a certain time or a certain amount of times, you could just sim them just to kind of, you know, bring the quality of life back together a little bit. But all in all, I gotta say 25 minutes in game is not unreasonable, but on a daily basis it does start to feel like a little bit of a chore. But that was kind of the outcome of what's going on from that video. I debated just doing the whole video again. I was like, you know, I don't know how beneficial it is, but you know, it is what it is. The other thing I was gonna say is what I've been doing too on top of the dailies is going into the event shop, picking up the we got another 2 days, although by the time this video launches it might be over, the Halloween event shop going on. You got these guys that you've been accumulating. You want to make sure you spend those. So each day I can come in here and buy 5 more staminas and put them in the in my item bag, and that way I have those for a rainy day. So I'm up to 43 there. I probably could have done better had I done that every day, but unfortunately I didn't. You know, I just kept forgetting to get in there. But the other thing I have been doing is going into the different shops and picking up the extra stamina where I can. So I have 191,000 tokens here, so picking up this extra 10,000 probably not going to be a big deal. It doesn't reset for another 4 days, and you can see it's kind of limited as far as what I actually buy in here. You know, I don't really, these are completely useless for me because all of my rare folks are chivalry level 10 and they're not bringing any more rare characters into the game. These could be useful, but I am kind of stacking those up pretty well right now. Legendary tomes are definitely, you know, something I could pick up, but it's not really something that I go for. But on the daily basis, coming in here, grabbing these. I am still working on Florentius. When I get to 8,500 tokens, I grab those, but you can see Sergius and Tristan are chivalry level 10. When this does reset, you can get the summons as well as some frost summons now, so that's kind of cool. But it does take, you know, I think it's 20 days to reset or whatever it is. And then on hard mode, yeah, just waiting for those to kind of go around again. But we did get those on the account, so we'll go ahead and get some extra farming. But it's a great way to get some extra things going on the account. What I've personally been farming is the mythic seeds, mythic orbs. I'm trying to get all of my champions up to 6-star, which I'm getting pretty close. I think all of my rares as well as legendaries, and I think half of my uncommons are now 6-star. But I've also been farming these mythic seeds and then trying to stack up some of these crystals to work on awakening relics is kind of the other thing. So that's kind of where I've been going. And then I do spend a little bit of material in there farming, trying to get these guys specifically. You can see I'm stacking up almost everything else, but there are so many more attack champions in the game than any other champion, so I go through these a lot. and just trying to upgrade relics has been kind of my focus lately. I have been making pretty good progress on that with my champions. If we look at just my legendary champions, I've been going in, getting all of my relics styled in. Gotta click on relics. A lot of clicking going on here, but Flame, Frost, Storm, and those are all completely maxed out, skill level and everything for all three of those. And then I've been just kind of going through my champions start to finish, just getting it done. But one thing that was exciting about Reset today is there's actually two new, or there's three, but I could only afford two of them, new relics in the shard shop there. So I was able to pick up Vivian's Storm relic. Don't really know if there's a use case for it really, but I also got Hild's Storm relic, which as a damage dealer, having her positive affinity is going to be a big win, and that was a new one for me. You can see here I do have Herja's Frost, that's what she comes with, but Charlotte's Frost relic's in here as well. That's the last one I need for her. I did need 14 relics, so now I'm down to 12. But if I were able to pick that up, I'd actually be down to 11, which would be pretty cool. But we're getting there, inch by inch, we're getting there. But the reason I even brought you in today is because I saw something, and it's not nothing. We got our off week update where they kind of switch over different events going on. But I did notice right here we have the 1 year anniversary prep event. Now I don't know how long you've been playing the game, but they have run these prep events prior to the 1 year anniversary, so it'll be a prep event, and then the next update would be that that actual event that you're prepping for, so to speak. So I don't know how big this update's going to be. It could just be a character. It could be another relic. I mean, who knows what they're going to do for the 1 year. I feel like at 100 day they did a pretty big update, and then at the half year they did a pretty good update. So I would hope at the 1 year we got something big coming in. But this at least tells me it's on their radar and they're going to do something. I don't know to what extent or how big it's going to be, but it's not nothing. So I saw that and I was pretty excited. There are still folks in here trying to put this game together and keep it moving forward. So we do have that 1 year anniversary prep event, which this is going on for 6 days. So on the next Tuesday, where we would be typically getting a new champion, that will be when I'm assuming the 1 year anniversary event will launch. Whatever it may be. So keep our fingers crossed that it's something worth talking about. But in the interim, you almost got almost nothing going on in the game. We could still get the Flame Relic for Herja over here. I think it's going to be 9,000 crystals and then it's yours. Part of me is going back and forth on that just because I'm trying to get all the relics in the game, and it's like, you know, what else am I doing? Like crystals, clearly nothing. I've got 30,000 of them, so it's kind of, you know, maybe I should go in there and do that. We do have some summons to do today, so we might as well do that while we're in here. Got a couple relics we could try to get here, see if we get lucky. Got 2 rares there. These ones we can get up to legendary, but you know, it's just pretty hard, slim pickings on that. We did get a rare there, that's not too bad. We got 20 of these guys stacked up, might as well get those on the account. At best, we're getting a rare. We got 2 rares, both Cormac. That's actually not too bad. That's kind of fun. And then one of these guys here is going to be almost certainly nothing good. And let's go ahead and get these while we're sitting here breathing. We do have a couple 10 packs to pull across the board there. Holding off on raid up summons. I can't even pull them if I wanted to, but we'll go ahead and pull these special summons as well. And probably I'll pull these off camera just to get some tokens for the shard shop. There is a copy of Herja in the shard shop. At least for me, I think it depends on what server you're on, what's in there. But down here behind me, you got a copy of Herja. I only have my Herja on relic or on chivalry level 3. So that'd be a good way for me to go ahead and get an extra chivalry on her. That's Hild. Cancel. I don't want to do that. What are we doing? There we go. So you're chivalry level 3 on my Herja, so that'll be chivalry level 4, and I am pretty close to that. I only need almost, what do I need, 58? 58 tokens we'll definitely be able to get. So we're going to go ahead and get some summons going on. Let's see if we can get a little bit lucky here. We were 60. We just reset pity on the Storm Relic, so not really expecting to get anything here. The relics, I feel like I almost always go to pity. There's been kind of a handful of exceptions to that, but I feel like a lot of my luck really comes in on the hero summoning more than the relics themselves. But you know, as I'm talking trash, you're gonna prove me wrong. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it all day long. Prove me wrong all day. All right, let's see who we get here. That is Vivian. That's literally the relic I just purchased in the shard shop. So if I hadn't purchased it and I did these summons first, which you should do, I would have been able to buy Charlotte's Frost and gotten 3 relics on the account instead of 2. But that is all right. We'll go ahead and take that and put it on the account as well. It's not showing new because I did purchase it, so that's just kind of a unfortunate set of circumstances. Always summon before you go in there. We are 13 away from pity, so we're going to go ahead and pull those extra 3 that we need on this. But yeah, always do your summons before you go buy relics, because that would have saved me 52,500. Not really a relic that I need to enhance because she's not a damage dealer, so having, you know, extra percentage on her affinity is not going to be super helpful. So I'm probably still going to upgrade it just because it's the collector in me. I want to get everybody going. But, you know, it is what it is. It wasn't the best choice for me to do that. And it is taking us all the way to pity. We got one more pull. We're going to get, hey, we got a rare one there. Not too bad there. And we're going to get, this guy here is our legendary pull. And see who we get on this end here. There it comes. Suspense, the suspense. And skip ahead, we got Lancelot Frost Relic. So that would be probably a pretty good one. He's not so much a damage dealer as much as he lands his dot damage. I don't know that the affinity percentage is going to affect like accuracy or anything like that, but it would do a little more damage with the damage that he is doing. But that is a fantastic relic. I do already have it, so it will be an enhancement to that relic. Moving on over to the Flame Relic, we're going to go ahead and we just reset pity on that as well. So we're going to go ahead and pull 4 10 packs here. Hopefully get lucky, not have to go all the way to pity. I would love to see Hild's Flame Relic. That would level her out for me, seeing how she's one of my stronger champions. Having a good affinity for her would be fantastic. You can see some of my percentages are stacking up on these champions. I did actually max out one, I think, uncommon character is on 20%. So now if I get copies of that particular relic, I can sell it and I don't even have to feel bad about it. So it's kind of fun. But eventually when you get to that point, then it kind of gets to stacking up those tokens in the shard shop a little quicker, which is kind of what I'm hoping for, and just kind of grinding it out in the meantime. 2 more rares on that pull there. Let's see if we got anybody. They're all at 10%. There's 14 sitting there. And one more 10 pack for the road. Let's see if we can get lucky. Don't send me to pity. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, all right. Well, maybe on the next one. We did get lucky on the last 2, so I can't complain too much. But we'll go ahead and get these guys on the account. We've got, yeah, 16 right there, so that's not too shabby. We're getting there. On the normal summons, we'll pull those off camera because nobody cares, and then we're going to go into the special summons. I do pull these guys just so I can convert them into tokens, and getting the occasional rares that come through on here is going to give you some tokens, but that'll get me over the top as far as getting that copy of Herja, so that's pretty good. We're actually going to hit pity on this pull here, so let's see. We should have, yeah, all those guys are dialed in. I don't think... Yeah, we're on, for Gillian, we're on our Chivalry level 7, so we do need to go ahead and get one more copy of her. But I just want to make sure we're getting everybody to 8 and we're not over-maxing anybody out. But we should with, was it 3 pulls? 28 away, I think it was. So we'll see if we can get a little bit lucky here. We got 1 rare. That's a brutal pull, and it's banned. Ban is banned. All right, let's see here. Can we get before pity? Before pity? No. All right, we're going to pity. We're going to pity. That's all right. We've got them. And here we go on our pity pull. We should be grabbing at least 1 legendary. At least 1. But let's see. Yeah, we got the 1. All right, let's see who it's going to be. You have learned nothing from losing your wing. Another copy of Herja. So that's going to get us to Chivalry level 4, plus the copy in the shard shop is going to get us to Chivalry level 5, which completely unlocks her kit. And then we start working on stats after that. So went in and sold those extra copies there. Come on down here to our Herja. We're going to go ahead and pick that guy up. Kind of resetting what we got going on there, getting us a little bit tighter than I'd like to be, picking the rate up. I did notice these guys here are in here. I'm not sure if they are the selector chests, so this actually may not be a bad way to spin these tokens as you kind of get later game. Trying to get those attack-based whetstones because they just don't seem to drop as frequently as you need them to, but that is probably not a horrible place to spend those tokens as far as that goes. As you go over to the index, it shows you there's significantly more attack-based champions than anything else in the game, so you go through these a lot more when you're up upgrading those champions. And that's why it's, even if you're getting equal drop rates, it doesn't much matter. The weird part that I find is Aqua Guinevere is a newer champion. You start going through, Hild was a newer champion. Lucius was also a newer champion. Ska was a newer champion. It's like all the people they're bringing in seem to be attack-based champions. I'd like to see them start fleshing these out a little more. I think it would be amazing if we started to see some rare characters come in with some utility. That'd be fantastic. But you know, it is what it is at this point. I don't really have my hopes up anymore that they have any inclination to bring in any rare characters. But we did pick up some relics here, so let's go ahead and we got, you see how this little dot down here is flashing? That tells you got a relic that I can summon that I have not summoned. So we're going to go ahead and get that on the account, and then we're going to zip over to Vivian, and we're going to get that relic on the account as well. And we actually have 2 copies of it because I bought it before I pulled it. Silly. All right, and then we're going to go over to Herja, and we're going to get her chivalries dialed in. So we come back over here. We're picking up the Fallen Temptation skill enhancement, 100% chance to inflict damage taken increase. That's going to be a pretty big one for her because that allows all your damage dealers to do more damage for you. And then we're going to get, at the start of battle, 100% chance to grant each stag favorite ally Oath of Blood for the rest of the battle. When attacking Herja to use skill 1. So she's going to be getting some ally attacks going on, which is pretty good as well. So we'll get that on the account. There's 2 more chivalries coming on there for Herja. But coming back out to my legendary characters, we've got all of the legendary characters, level 6 star, fully awakened, and then at various levels of chivalry, but we're working through it. As we move over to our rare champions, we can kind of go through. We got all of our rare, I'm spinning Herja around here. All the rare champions at 6 star, 60. I did not take them to 70 just because of the gold and the experience. I don't have all my legendary characters maxed out based on their chivalries yet. So that'll be kind of that pet project I keep moving through. But right now, I mean, I'm kind of maxed out with the really experience because I do have quite a bit of gold, 62 million up here. But they are all fully awakened on 6 star. And then we're moving into the uncommons. And we've got probably at least half of them at 6 star and fully awakened. I have not taken them from 50 to 60 yet, just for the same reason. I just don't have the experience to do it. But I am starting to kind of work through that and get all those guys to 6 star and then fully awakened. And then we'll move on to the commons. So once I get everybody to 6 star, it's kind of nice because then at that point Penvid becomes something I don't have to farm at all. And I can start moving all of that extra stamina into different locations and kind of working through it. The other thing I have been farming, because I constantly kind of get chopped up on it, is these guys right here. I think currently I have 10. You need 10 to upgrade a legendary weapon all the way to 6 star. And so that's another thing that I have been farming. Unfortunately, these battles kind of take a while, so I'll just kind of put this on auto, let it run, do repeat battles, just crank them up. I actually have 1,000 stamina right now, so we'll let that go in the background and start running. This is kind of where building a speed team could be a benefit. In fact, I was working on my Crom Croc team for the Sealed Temple. I should bring that team over here because it's probably going to move through just as fast over here. But stuff like this, it's going to do a lot more for you if you can get these teams to be just a little bit faster just when you're farming. But that being said, all in all, with the 3x speed, it doesn't take that long to get through some of these battles. It just is a matter of getting it going and kind of, you know, find something else to do for a few minutes and you come back. You got all the things you wanted. But that's about what I got for you today. I'm super excited that the 1-year anniversary is coming up. As to the best of my knowledge, that should take place on the next update, a week from Tuesday. So I think that was at the 25th, if I'm doing, I think it's the 25th of November there. So probably right before Thanksgiving for those of you guys that celebrate Thanksgiving over in the States. So yeah, so it could be a pretty big update over the weekend with the holiday weekend for a little extra time, you know, working through that tryptophan and getting your King Arthur and have a good time. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.